A sailor killed in the attack at Pearl Harbor finally laid to rest in his hometown. Reaction to the final farewell some 77 years after his death is our top story tonight on Newswatch 16 at 6. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Jim Hamill. It took all these years, but those remains have been identified of that sailor from Luzerne County, and today he was laid to rest in his hometown with full military honors. Newswatch 16's Alan Vickers live in the newsroom with the story. Alan.
Jim, Navy Seaman First Class Edward Slapikis was killed during the attacks of Pearl Harbor at the age of 26. His remains were buried in Hawaii and only recently identified through DNA. And today, people came out to honor his sacrifice. Escorted by members of the U.S. Navy, the remains of Seaman First Class Edward Slapikis were carried from Striss Funeral Home in Ashley. Past the groups of people waving flags, even a welcome home sign, to the Holy Spirit Parish in Glen Lyon. And finally laid to rest in the hero's hometown, the Wanami section of Nanticoke.
He's a veteran that never fired a shot in war. He died at the beginning of the war, World War II. He's the first casualties of the war.
It was a long-awaited journey for the Navy sailor from Luzerne County killed decades ago at Pearl Harbor. Slapikis was aboard the USS Oklahoma when it was hit by Japanese torpedoes on December 7, 1941. Thousands died that day, but for nearly 80 years, Slapikis was buried with others killed in the attack, his identity unknown until now.
They finally identified his remains, and they brought him back here now. So it's my honor and duty to bring him home to Newport Township, Wanami section, to bury him in his hometown.
Matthew D'Angelo was one of the service members carrying the casket for Slapikis.
I mean, it's just such a unique experience to be a part of. I mean, it really pulls on the heartstrings.
Edward Slapikis died 77 years ago during the attacks of Pearl Harbor. People lined streets just like this one to honor him.
To support the community, to support the sailor that was killed in Pearl Harbor, I think it's pretty cool that they actually discovered his body and was able to go through the DNA testing.
I kind of wonder to myself, how do these people know the time that the hearse went by? Or they've been standing out there for an hour and a half waiting for the procession to come by. It was absolutely a beautiful ceremony.
Frank Slapikis was honored by the amount of people who showed up just to say thank you to his uncle, a Navy seaman once lost at Pearl Harbor and now brought home.
Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. And all. It just showed me a lot about the people, especially in this area.
Now, Seaman First Class Edward Slapikis was buried with full military honors, including receiving the Purple Heart. Alan Vickers, Newswatch 16, live in the newsroom.